Meet Jay Shin, the owner of Shinstarr, a fully automatic robotic kitchen that delivers piping hot Korean barbecue to your doorsteps. Not only is this one of the first robotic food trucks, their robots are trained by a famous chef in Korea, so you know you're getting authentic Korean barbecue.
My name is Jay Shin. I'm a co-founder of Shinstarr Presents, and our company is in food robotics, and we build robotic restaurants.
Oh, wow.
Utilizing our robotic kitchen, and we want to be the #1 Korean barbecue franchise all over the States. That's our mission.
Where is your shop located at?
So we currently have our truck currently operating in Foster City, and we're planning to gradually expand the coverage to the whole San Mateo County, and then to Santa Clara County, and then to San Francisco City. So we're trying to cover up the whole Bay Area as we grow, but we're starting with 2 trucks right now. It's been 4 months, and we have our flagship restaurant opening in December, early December. So we're finishing up our construction and interior for our flagship restaurant, which is located in B Street, downtown San Mateo.
Oh, that's amazing. That's the first time I've ever heard of a mobile,
Robotic restaurant?
Yeah, robotic restaurant.
Yeah.
That's really cool. I've only ever seen them in the malls, but all they do is make coffee. I've never seen them make actual food before.
Right. And that's the whole point that we wanted to do this, because I kind of realized, studying and researching the US market, the food price continues to go up, the labor cost continues to go up, the rent continues to go up. So all the cost that is associated to run a restaurant business, whether it's a food truck or a restaurant, it's just getting tougher to make profits. And now where the U.S. restaurant industry is standing at right now is the industry average margin has dropped to 3%.
Wow.
And the margin has been collapsed over the last 20 years consecutively. There's no single year the margin has improved. So I guess there's no solution behind this cost reduction or solution to improve the efficiency of running this business, because the major cost that is associated with running a restaurant business is 30% to 35% food cost, 30 to 40% labor costs, and 10% rent. All those, if you add just those 3 up, it comes around 80% of your cost. So there's no solution behind it. And I thought, and on top of it, if you see the delivery market, the delivery charges and the service charges going roof. And there's no signal or any single solution that can actually resolve it so that the consumer can benefit over time. So if you stretch 3 to 5 years down the road from here, we'll be witnessing the restaurant industry as a whole, the average margin goes to 0. So it's going to be a zero-sum game. So that I thought utilizing robotics and systems can be the only solution, because there's no way we're going to reduce the food cost, because if you want to drop the food cost, your food quality gets lower. So you don't want to touch on that. There's only one single factor you can put an effort into, which is managing the labor cost. And that's what we thought. We could provide the highest quality Korean meals or the foods to consumer at a reasonable price, and at the same time providing at the peak of the quality. As soon as the food is ready, that's when the food gets served to you, because our robotic kitchen system is built under the concept of getting the cook done at the same time when the truck is delivered to your place, so that the consumer can get piping hot and fresh Korean meals at a reasonable price. And I think that will add some value to consumers, because we don't impose any delivery fees and service charges on top of it.
Wow.
We're just selling the food.
There's so many pros to delivery services like DoorDash and Uber Eats, just because you can get your food without even having to leave your house, but it comes cold and you have to pay, on top of that, you have to pay a bunch of other fees or subscribe to them. And it's really cool that you're able to do exactly what they're doing, but better.
Yeah, because if you think about how the DoorDash or the Uber Eats works, is that the restaurant needs to have their costs calculated so that they can put on a menu price. And then on top of it, consumers are paying, addition to that, they're paying additional operating costs to run the DoorDash and the Uber Eats. So that's why you end up paying 30% or more from the actual food price.
Yeah.
So I thought, in a consumer perspective, that's actually double paying the cost to get your food delivered to your door.
Yeah.
But at the same time, as the price goes up, not just the price, it's just also the delivery time gets longer and longer.
Yeah.
Because the demand is all growing as a whole. So we're not right now. I kind of like realize in the Bay Area, in order for your food to get delivered to your place, it takes roughly 45 minutes, or if not maximum like 90 minutes, you can have to wait for it.
Yeah.
Whereas our business model is simply combining the restaurant with the delivery vehicle, so it's just one model. So we're not imposing double costs to the consumer. That's why we were able to eliminate all those delivery costs and service charges.
Wow.
Yeah, because kitchen is actually inside the delivery vehicle.
Yeah. Speaking of delivery vehicle, is that it right there?
Yeah, that right there.
Jay ordered us some food from his truck, so we got to check out Osu Korean barbecue and seafood truck in person. And we got a behind the scenes look at how exactly these robots really work.
Wow, this all looks really good.
Yeah, have it yourself.
Okay. So this food all looks really good. So how do you make sure that all your food comes out really fresh and hot?
Because if you look in our robotic kitchen system that goes inside the truck, it automatically calculates when the ETA is so that it knows when to start cooking. So the whole system is trying to match the same time. As soon as the food cooking is done, that's the same time when the truck is arrived to your doorstep, so that we make sure it's always hot and fresh. And these recipes are developed by our chef who was selected as a top 5 Korean barbecue chef in Korea. So I wanted to bring the best quality chef as possible to introduce our service in the United States.
Yeah. Well, I can say, first bite already, this tastes amazing. It really tastes like a chef made it.
Yeah. And the beautiful part about the robotic kitchen is that in the restaurant industry, if you know how restaurant industry works, is that it's really labor, not just labor intensive, but it relies on who's actually in the kitchen today, right? So we wanted to actually eliminate that to provide consistent taste and the quality all the time. And that's where the robotics kick in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because our food is always consistently made by the robotics. So there's no errors or mistakes that it can make.
Yeah, there's no ifs in
there's
the
no
equation.
Ifs. Yeah.
Wow. I saw that you had a refrigerator in there. Is it so the food is pre-made and just needs to be heated up, or is it just the raw ingredients?
It's just the raw ingredients. And,
Wow.
And that's so special about our robotic kitchen. Nothing is prepped. No, I mean, the ingredients are prepped in the morning. Every fresh ingredients are prepped in our central kitchen in the morning. But then the ingredients that we put in, the raw ingredients we put in our refrigeration, it's all the vegetables and the meats are all fresh. So when the order comes in, that's when the robotic kitchen starts to cook it. So nothing is pre-cooked. And the reason behind that is our chef and our whole team believes that we want to serve the best quality as possible.
I will say, this really does taste fresh.
Yeah. And we call ourselves Robotic Mobile Restaurant because we're confident that our food is of restaurant quality.
Yeah.
It's not a normal food truck or like all those, I don't want to downlook at them, but like all those delivery food that you get, it's not that generally high quality meat or the food that you're getting, and it's still very expensive.
Yeah.
But we were able to reduce the labor costs and at the same time handle the food waste pretty well because of our system and the mechanics, so that we're providing at the peak of perfection when the food is made. It just delivers to your door. So as soon as the consumers open up the lid, it's just piping. It comes out, and it just gives a great experience to the customers.
Of course.
And cheaper.
Yeah. And it is a very cool experience seeing everything get made. We even have a screen for people to watch the food get prepared. It's all around just a really cool experience from just getting really good food, and it comes And it looks like I went to a shop and got to go.
Exactly, that was the whole picture, because we're gonna have our flagship restaurant, right?
Of course.
Which is performing authentic Korean barbecue over there. It's a huge space. It's gonna we have 143 seats over there, and we wanted to make sure the quality of the food you get from our restaurant, whether you get it from restaurant or you get it from our truck, it should be always the highest quality as possible. And I think that's the whole spirit of Korean barbecue. If you think about the Korean barbecue, it's a grill top on the table. So the whole concept of Korean barbecue is eat when it's freshly cooked.
Yeah.
Right. Nothing gets prepared in a central kitchen. It just cooks on top of the table.
Yeah.
To provide hot and fresh meat and vegetables. And that spirit was duplicated in our truck.
Yeah.
But we just utilize our robotic kitchen to do so.
Oh. Since it's really just all machines and the person driving doesn't touch any of the food, really?
Nothing. I mean, the last mile he does is when, as you see, the menu is all provided by the robotic kitchen. The last mile that he does is a packaging.
Yeah.
To deliver it to the customer.
Yeah.
So the packaging is done by our driver. And the beautiful part is, if you see the normal food truck, like of our size, which is a pretty large food truck, right? Those are the one who does not just the food truck business, but the one who goes for catering and events. Then you want to have a big food truck, right?
Of course.
If you look at our competitors, even with the food truck, there are always like 4 to 5 people involved in the whole operation, whereas we only have one driver. So that just economically makes more sense. And we don't have to worry about the consistency of our food or the service of our food, because everything will be consistently made by the robotic kitchen.
Of course. I used to be in the food industry for a little bit. Nothing like this, of course, but I know cleanliness and sanity is a huge part of making sure your business can stay running and not get yourself in trouble.
Of course.
So how do you ensure that whatever is going on in your truck is always clean and safe for consumers to eat?
I mean, obviously, on our daily operation, once our operation is done every night, we do clean ourselves, our robotic kitchen. But what's more important when it comes to sanitary and the cleanliness of our kitchen is that because there is no human involved in the cooking process, so you don't have to worry about germs or like hair falling, or whether your staff is wearing the gloves or not. So you don't need to worry about any of that, because our robotic kitchen is a fully unmanned process. So there goes the cleanness. I mean, we're confident that our kitchen is the cleanest kitchen as possible because there's no human involved in the process. And once every walk is done with the menu, it goes into the self-cleaning mode. So we clean our walk based on, because we have a water pressure down the walk, where when the order is done, I mean the menu is done, it flips the walk and then it steams out the pressure water gun that cleans up the walk, the whole process, so that it can perform the next menu. So we have proudly we already have secured, we're the first commercialized, fully unmanned robotic kitchen. And we were able to have all those U.S. sanitary and safety certification. And with that, that's why we were able to have the commercial license to run that robotic kitchen and service our food. Approved by the U.S. government. So that way I can say our robotic kitchen is safe and clean.
Okay. Yeah, because I did get to see the machine in work as it was cleaning and as it was preparing the food. And it's just really amazing that you were able to make a system where you can make really good food that's not pre-frozen or pre-made.
Of course.
And have it be super clean and make sure that the environment that it's made in is clean. I think that's really amazing, and I think that's something that a lot of other people can learn from. Are there plans for you to ever open up a actual shop, like a store that stays in one place?
like I said, we're planning to open up our flagship restaurant in end November to early December.
So soon.
Yeah. So it's located in B Street, downtown San Mateo.
Yeah.
It's one of the most it's a prime location because there's lots of food traffic over there.
Of course.
And we're located in the main street, which is the only street for the pedestrian only street. So that's where all the crowds get with the traffic. So we're actually in the center of that street. 6,000 square feet. It's a flagship restaurant, and through there we want to communicate with customers, engage with customers, and tell them about our story of our brand, the food story, the brand story, and our culture, so we can interact with customers. And at the same time, because we use the same brand under the Also Korean Barbecue and Seafood, that's how we want to like increase our presence and get known by the Bay Area people.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's going to be a huge hit, especially it's like if I went to your restaurant and then I found out that you have a truck driving around my neighborhood,
I'm gonna be delivery.
Yeah, I'm gonna be ordering from you guys all the time. Makes me wish I lived closer to the Bay.
And our restaurant has a very cool concept because it's going to be the first restaurant that uses immersive technology, which is, I don't know whether you have seen the one called Sphere in Las Vegas.
I haven't.
It's a spherical space that goes for the concert where it gets, if you go inside the building, every interior is just full wide of displays, right?
Yeah.
When that came into the market, it's been only 1 year or 2 years, right? The restaurant industry in the Las Vegas are starting to adopt a similar technology, and that's called immersive technology, which is wrapping around your interior with digital walls instead of like the normal interiors, which is expensive materials anyways. You want to eliminate that and just wrap it around with the immersive technology, which makes the whole walls a digital wall so that we can express with the themes, right? Whether it's a Halloween, Christmas, birthday, I mean, we can change the theme in our restaurants to give more refreshing vibe, so that after a couple of years you get like bored with the interiors, but we always want to keep it fresh and make the whole vibe more vibrant and energetic, right?
Yeah.
So that we want it to be the first place in the Bay Area that has such a concept, enjoying Korean barbecue with drinks, and we just want it to be a hangout place. That's our mission too. Yeah. So I think it's going to be really cool.
Yeah, I think so too. I think I've never experienced something like that, but I'm 100% sure it's going to be a hit on social media.
Yeah. That's also the behind the scene. That was also one of the main purpose we adopting that.
Yeah.
Because like I've been here for only 6 months and I couldn't really see a very fun spot to have my birthday party.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
you're going to make it.
Yeah. So I thought it would be really cool if somebody is throwing a birthday party in our restaurant, we just want to like celebrate through our digital wall and make an enjoyable moment so that the consumer can never forget throwing his or her birthday party in our restaurant. It's gonna give them a good memory.
Yeah,
and,
for sure.
Yeah, and I think that's gonna be a big help.
Is it in the plans to be able to see the machines in work in the restaurant?
Yeah, we use some of them.
Yeah.
I mean, we utilize the woks inside our restaurant kitchen as well, because our wok was developed as a single device as well, because we wanted to utilize that wok not just for the food truck or just for the unmanned robotic kitchen, but it also can help as a single device in normal restaurants as well. So in our restaurants, our robotic wok will be collaborating with the human chefs as well.
Yeah.
But they're going to be designated for some of the side dishes that we're going to provide to make our kitchen more efficient and operable.
For sure. So I know you've been here for 6 months. How did you find out about VABA? So are you excited to be pitching this coming Pitch Perfect Season 3?
Half nervous, half excited. Yeah.
I'm sure you're gonna do great. I can picture you being one of the best pitchers out there, just because you have such a really cool product and you have a really good plan for it in the future. And I just think the way you're doing it and going about it is just very smart. Like you're also thinking about the marketing aspect of just the environment of the place. You know, it's going. I think it's gonna be a hit.
Yep.
And I think everybody in there is gonna love it. I know the big thing that you're hoping to get out of this is funding, but besides funding, what are you looking forward to in this Pitch Perfect Season 3?
Like I said, meet great people who are already involved in restaurant business or franchise business, because I mean, we currently don't have an expert who has done spreading out the US and getting expanded through franchise business model. So I'm hoping to meet somebody who has the expertise in those areas, like operation expansion, right? And that's what excites me the most after the funding as well.
I'm gonna just say this right now. You don't have to worry about that because we have a lot of people in that know how to do that.
Lovely.
This is really like restaurant quality.
Yeah.
Like,
and the beautiful part about our expansion plan in the very longer term is because, as you've seen in our robotic kitchen, it's just not specifically designed for Korean food.
Yeah.
We can perform like the upgraded Panda Express version of it, like, you know, because it's just a wok, right?
Yeah.
So any food that is involved with wok as a food making process, we can expand to those categories later on.
Yeah.
We're just starting with the Korean barbecue because we're Korean and we know the game.
Yeah.
And we have all the experts and the chef who knows how to bring the best one in the table.
Of course.
But as we grow, we can expand to the other categories, other country foods as well.
There's a lot of potential with the product that you made. Do you have plans on potentially selling the robotics itself to different companies? Or is it something that you want to keep in your own franchise?
We already have one single client, one single large client, which is Samsung. So Samsung, in our headquarters is based in Korea. And Samsung's headquarters has started adopting our robotic walks into their cafeterias because they came to us and say, hey, our cafeteria labor turnover every year is 90%.
Yeah.
So 90 out of 100 people just walks away, quit their job. So we need to rehire them, train them, teach them, and then when they are put into the operation for a couple months, they leave, right? And it just requires too much labor into just running the cafeteria for the employees. And it's such a global company, so they have like all the campus all over the world.
Yeah.
So they wanted to start adopting our robotic walks into their cafeteria, starting from their headquarters. And we're making some progress there.
Yeah.
We sampled out 4 of our machines a year ago, and then after 8 months of validation, starting from two months ago, they placed like 30 more orders.
Wow.
So that they can start deploying those machines not as a sample but into the real campus cafeterias for real usage. And if I talk about how did I get Samsung as a client, one single large client, is because I didn't want to do B2B, selling our robotic kitchens to elsewhere other than us. Not because I don't want to do that business, it's just because as a startup I want to go as lean as possible, and we want to make sure that our 100% of our focus is on our business, US business, which is also Korean barbecue and seafood. So I didn't want my engineers to get distracted by doing our main project at the same time handling like with multiple customers. And it just requires too much manpower behind the scene. So I didn't want that. But if I think about how did Samsung approach to us, or we already have, because our company is more than 4 years now. So, and then throughout our 4 years, we already like had more than 180 inquiries from 24 countries.
Yeah.
Right? Because our robotic machines were exposed in the YouTubes and whatnot. And how did they approach us was pretty simple, because we were doing our brand. We had our one antenna restaurant shop in Seoul for 2 years, just to test and validate our initial robotic kitchen, whether it makes sense or what's the defects, what upgrades do we need to make to optimize the kitchen, so that once that is ready, then we can start our U.S. business. So there was one small restaurant that we had in Korea, and that actually opened up the door for the whole B2B opportunity. And that's what Samsung saw the same video clip, whereas the other 180 inquiries, like the F&B companies that approached us, they all looked into our restaurant. So what I'm thinking is, it's the same approach. As we do our business in the Bay Area with our own brand, because we wanted to, the reason why we're doing our brand is because we want to make sure to show the best practice, harmonizing the robotic kitchens and the food. Because I'm a believer that you can't sell your product or machines if you're not utilizing it.
Of course.
Yeah. You just can't go to them and say, hey, I have this cool machine, can you buy it and use it?
Yeah.
It just don't work that way. So I wanted to make sure that we show the best practice. This is how you collaborate with the robotics and the food. And that just gives imaginary and positive feedback to the ones who are looking at us, which brings more opportunity in the future.
Of course.
And that's how Samsung opened up the door. And I'm just doing the same approach over here. As we do well with our own business, the future is bright on the B2B side as well, because we're already getting more inquiries and collaboration offer, even in the States right now, despite the operation has been only 4 months. Like Panda Express has walked into our kitchen to test. And,
Really?
Yeah, and then Gen Korean Barbecue, which went on a NASDAQ IPO last year. The one of the director who's in charge of the purchasing, he called up on us and asking for collaboration, and that's just how it works. So I'm a huge believer that in order for us to really scale up as a robotic company and serving large B2B clients, B2C is where you start it, and then expand in the future.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I completely agree with that. It's so much more easier to convince somebody when you have proof rather than just like an estimate. I think that's really cool. I believe that I'm gonna see your product, your robots, in so many other stores in the near future.
I hope so.
Yeah. I mean, I think you have an amazing product that has a lot of potential for growth, and it's already working really well. I think you're doing, just from my background, just a marketing background, it's so, like, I can just see so many potentials with it. Like, I can just see people wanting to make TikToks and everything just because how unique it is. You know, it's just like, whenever I heard somebody say that there's a robot coffee thing, I always see a ton of videos about it. And now it's just like there's robot robot delivery, and it's just really cool.
Your point is so true, because even with this 4 months, we were able to do a PR interview with SF Chronicles, CBS Bay Area, and they just knocked on our door without we're putting any effort on PR, because we're doing something different than the others. And I think that's what makes great in the initial stage, to let the market know that we're here and we're different, we're unique, and we're serving the highest quality Korean meals everywhere. Whether you come to our restaurant or we deliver to your door, we want to make sure that you're getting the highest quality as possible. And I think that's what builds up the brand as a food brand, right?
And do you think that's also what sets you apart from your other competitors? Is that the quality and the service that you give out, and just how your model is just way different from anything I've ever seen. I think,
that's what I truly believe in this business, because I mean, restaurants will be a normal restaurant. Our flagship is also a pretty traditional restaurant business, but we share the culture and the food and the story over there, which is going to build up the brand and marketing capability that flourish into our truck business. And we have, by utilizing the same robotic kitchen that you just saw in our truck, we're launching a vending machine type next year, and we're already talking with the international airports over here.
Oh, wow.
because it's with the same technology we can make various application, like the food truck can be made, and also the vending machine. If you detach it and just install it on the ground, it just becomes a vending machine. Right? And I wanted to have the same brand that flourished from our flagship restaurant, and just building the brand as a whole to the consumer. And I want to make sure that my mission is to let the consumer think that our brand is the best Korean barbecue, in the United States, because of our quality and the service that we provide.
Yeah, of course. That reminds me of the vending machine idea. Reminds me a lot about this. Where I used to work, there used to be a vending machine that would make ramen.
Yeah.
And then I think if I had the choice, I'd rather have like a rice plate, and I think that's going to be really simple.
And not just the instant noodle ramen that just pours the hot water, but we're doing fresh ingredients, meal prepping inside the vending machine, which makes a great value as a vending machine. Because the inquiries that we had so far in the Bay Area, whether that's coming from the shopping mall or the university campus, corporate campus, in our airports, right? Those are the ones who are actually struggling with 24 hours operation when it comes to food, right? Because it's so costly to run it 24 hours. Whereas the vending machine, if you think about it, we don't need to have any single man, but still able to cook and generate and prep meals direct to the consumers, right? And I think that what makes it great. So we're trying to launch our first vending machine type summer next year.
What inclined you to want to pitch at VABA's Pitch Perfect Season 3?
Because you guys said it's a cool place to be.
I mean, it is.
It's my first time, so I have no idea how that event's going to be. But I'm very excited to be there, to meet all those cool new people.
I mean, I think it's gonna be a fun event. I think there's a lot of opportunity over there, and there's a lot of chances to get funded. Just knowing from the past events, I've known that even if the panel doesn't want to invest, there's people in the crowd that want to invest. There's like so many opportunities for investors, and I see you getting a lot of like investors just from this event, because we have a lot of people who are eager to put their money into a good project that they believe in. So my last question is, where can people find you at?
Currently, our truck is limiting our coverage and operation in the Foster City area. So it's not stationary food truck, so it just hovers around. When there's an order, then the truck is on the move to the next delivery. So there's no specific address that station where you can find us. But generally speaking, as you can download our app and just place an order to any address in Foster City with the zip code 94404. Then you can just pick up our food, whether it's at the Costco parking lot, shopping mall parking lot, park, any building, houses, and just have an address that's with the zip code 94404. That's the whole address.
Okay.
That's where you can meet our food and meet our truck, because our truck will be there with the destination. That is under zip code 94404.
And do you guys have any social media pages that they can
We
find
do. We're currently running our Instagram page.
What's the username?
Also Truck.
Also Truck?
OLHSOTRUCK.
Got it.
Also
Okay.
Truck, yeah.
You guys know where to find them at, so go get your orders in and go follow his Instagram.